Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to learn what is ASIN function in Salesforce, and we are going to learn this concept, how we use this ASIN function in Salesforce Lightning as well as a classic experience. So let's proceed and firstly understand what does we mean by ASIN function. So basically this ASIN function is one of the mathematical function that helps to do the trigonometric calculations. This ASIN function stands for the arc sine, and it is used to determine the inverse sine of an angle or the value that you pass to that particular function. So let's proceed to the next and see what's the syntax of this a sine function. The syntax is given on your screen, and in this a sine function we pass the value to find out the inverse sign of it. It can be a number field, or a formula. It only takes up the number data type values like decimal, integer, double, or a currency. So now let's proceed and learn how we can use the assign function in Salesforce Lightning. So here I open up my Salesforce account, and I by default open in the Lightning interface. If you are not in the Lightning one, firstly redirect yourself to the Lightning, as we are going to learn how to use the assign function in Salesforce Lightning, or you can say that how we calculate the inverse sine value in a Lightning. So for this, firstly you need to click on the object manager, and here you need to choose up the object for which you want to use up this assign function. Let's take an example that you want to track up the product in the demand, and for that you are going to use up the assign function, and that's why you are searching for the product as an object in the quick find box given in the object manager. So here I get the product object, I click on that. It will take me to the object manager page that is particular regarding to this product, and on the left side you can see that in the sidebar we have a fields and relationship option. So I clicked on that because we have to create up the new field for using the assign function, and the field is kind of the formula type. So now it's give me the list of all the fields that are already created here. Now to create up the new field, it gives us a new button that is given on the top. So I click on that new button, and it's take me to the page where you can choose up the data type and start creating the process of the new field type, or you can say a data type. So as I told you, we are going to use the assign function. So this assign function or any other function is a part of the formula data type. So you have to choose up the formula data type by clicking up the radio button given next to it, and after that you need to click on the next button, and once you click on the next button it will take you to the page where you will enter the field label or the field name and choose up the formula return type. So field label is the name that visible to the users who are using that particular field, or you can say object, and working on it. So here I am going to enter the field label as a product demand because I want to calculate the demand of the product. Uh, and you can see that when I click on the field name, it automatically gets populated because it is based upon the field label. It gets fetch the value of the field label and enter into the field name, and it works as a API. Now it's time to choose up the formula return type, like this data returns the value for the inverse sine function in which of the data type, like it can be a checkbox or a currency or a date. So as we have learned that it is a numeric data type, so most of the time it gives the answer in the numeric or a currency cases, or it depends upon the function that you are using. If you are using the if and kind of the function, then it's possible that it gives the result in a checkbox or any other kind of the data type. So but as we are going to find out the product in the demand, so we want the result in the number format, so I choose the number by clicking on the radio button next to it. So by default the decimal place is set to 2. If you want to change it, you can change it, otherwise you can simply click on the next button to proceed to the next step. Now in this next step we have to create up the advanced formula that calculate the inverse sine value using the assign function, and as I want to calculate the product demand using it, we have to create a formula for that. Now on the right side we have a function categories. So and as I told you, this is the kind of a mathematical function. I choose up the math as a category, and from here I choose up the a sign as a function, and it asks that it return the sign of the number in the radians, and if the given number is between -1 and 1, and otherwise it gives you the null value. So here I select the function and click on the insert selected function to enter it up on that box that is given in advanced formula to calculate the product demand. So now here we have to pass the parameter to this assign function. So as I want to calculate the product in demand, I want to determine the formula using the average rating and the number of the units sold. So here I firstly pass up my fields that I need it. So I firstly need of the average rating. So I click on the insert field, select the average rating and insert it, and after that I want to divide it. So I insert the operator from the insert operator box, and here I use the division operator and divide it by the 5. And after that I also want to use one more assign function by adding a plus to it. So I again select the assign function, insert it, and here I want to this time find out the unit sold. So to enter up the field, here I click on the insert field button, and from here I choose up the unit sold and click on the insert, and this time I divided it with the 1000. So here I insert the operator and enter the value as 1000, and now I finalize multiplied by 100, and then it divides by the 2 into pi. So there is also a pi function we have in a mathematical. So I insert this pi function. By selecting it, it returns basically the pi value. So here I created up the formula that calculate the product demand. To check whether it is correct or not, I click on the check syntax button to check it has some error or not. So there is a no error. Basically in this I am calculating the product demand using the average rating and the number of units sold, and here I use the assign function. uh, and firstly I calculate the average rating, which is divided by 5, and then I again use the assign function, which calculate the number of units sold, and I divided with the 1000 also, and following that the calculated number are combined and multiplied by the 100, and then I divided it by the constant 2 times pi. Okay, so here is my formula. I don't want to add any description or help text. I don't want to change any blank field heading. Basically, if we are using the number, currency and percentage fields, it specify what happened if the formula output return the value as a blank. It treat it as a 0 or a blank value. So I want to treat it as a 0 value only. So I click on the next button and proceed to the next step, and in the next step we have to set up the field level security, like to which profile you want to grant the edit access of this field. It has to kind of assess like a visibility and the read only. Some of them are already checked and some of them are unchecked. You can change it according to your requirement. You can give or revoke the access to the particular profile for that field, and after that you can click on the next button to proceed to the next step. And in the next step you have to choose the page layout on which this field is located. So here we have only one page layout, that is a page layout, that is already selected. If you want to unselect it, you can do it with the help of unchecking the checkbox, but I want to keep this thing as it is. So I simply click on the save button to save all such things. So it successfully created up my formula that calculate the product and demand with the help of a sine function that calculate the inverse value. So now let's see how it works. So here I open one new tab and open some product, that is apple pie, and here I set its average rating to the 3 and unit sold to the 20, and it gives the product and demand like a 0.96 by calculating its inverse value using the assign function. So with this we have successfully learned how to use this assign function in Salesforce Lightning. Now we will proceed and learn to use it in a classic one. So for this you firstly redirect yourself to the Salesforce Classic, and for that you need to click on your profile, and here you have option of a switch to a Salesforce Classic. Now you need to click on that, and once you click on that it will take you to the setup of a Salesforce Classic interface, and once you reach to the Salesforce Classic interface it will automatically take you to the home page, and once you redirect to the home page you need to shift yourself to the setup of a classic one. So for that you need to click on the setup option that is given on the top right, and from here you need to click on that. It will take you to the classic setup, and once you redirect to the setup you need to choose up the object on which you want to apply this assign function or use this assign function to calculate the inverse sine value of the particular thing. So here you can scroll down on the left side, you will get a build section. Under this you have a customize drop down, expand it, and under you will get the standard objects are that are in Salesforce. And here I'm going to show you the example for the order object. So let's see where it is. As I want to monitor the profit margin in the order, so here is my order object. I click on the fields option as I want to create up the new field in which I want to use the assign function. As I click, it will take me to the step where the standard fields are given, and under this we have a custom fields and relationship for the order thing where you can create a custom fields, and here I have a new button. I click on that, and once I click it will take me to the page from where you need to choose up the type of the field that you want to create, and we have a different types of a field, but as our agenda is to choose up the field type in which you will use the assign function, and this is the formula data type. So here I click on the radio button next to the formula and click on the next button to proceed to the next step. Now once I click on the next, it will take me to the page where you will need to enter the field label and the field name and specify the return type for the your field. So here I enter the field label as a profit score, and the field name is automatically populated based upon the field label, and I choose the return data type as a number. I want to be it a number one, and by default the decimal places is adjusted to 2. If you want to change it, you can change it. Otherwise you simply need to click on the next button to proceed to the next step, and once you click on the next step, it will take you to the next step, so where you can enter up your formula using the asine function. As I want to compute the inverse sine value using the asine function and calculate the product margin based upon the customer input, so here I create up the formula. So let's enter me the formula first. So here I enter up my formula. Now to check whether it is correct or not, I click on the check syntax button, and if there is any error, it will gives me an error message. Otherwise it will gives a success message that there is a no error in it. So here it gives that there is a no error. It gives a message like no syntax error in the merge field and function. Basically in this function the product score determines the, so here basically we are finding out the profit score, and we determine it using the satisfaction and the profit margin, and here the satisfaction score is added directly to the formula. You can see that here I added it up, and after that I normalize the value of the profit margin, and to do that I divided it by 100, and then I put it into the asine function to calculate its inverse value. After that the result is divided by the constant value of a pi, and I again divided it by a 2, and finally I multiplied by the 100. So after that you can also add a description in the help text if you want, but I don't want to add it, so I leave this thing as it is. And even if you want to handle the blank fields, you can handle it. There are two options to handle the blank: number field, currency field, and the person field as 0 and the blanks value. Now I click on the next button to proceed to the next step, and in this next step we need to set up the field level security for this particular field, and from here we need to choose up the profiles to whom we grant the edit access for this field, and the field will be hidden from all the profile if we don't add it to the field level security. Here we can grant them the visible access and the read only one. We can check and uncheck the boxes as per our requirement and grant and revoke the field type, and then I move to the next button, and here we have to add the field on the page layout. Here we have only one page layout, and by default it is selected, and this field is added as the last field in the first two column of the section of the page layout, and the field will not appear if you don't select any page layout here. So here the order page layout is selected, so I simply click on the save button to complete the process and save it. So it successfully created up the formula that calculates the profit score, and I use the assign function to calculate it. So let's check how it's works. So here is my product. Here I enter the satisfaction as a 80 and the profit margin I enter the value as a 20, and I save it, and once I save it, calculate the profit score as a 92.82. So with this we have successfully learned up how we can use the assign function in Salesforce Classic also. And here our session ends, and within this session we have learned about the assign function in Salesforce. So if you like this video, click on the like button and also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Thanking you for watching and have a great day.